Welcome back to World Affairs in Context, everyone. The dynamic between Washington and Kiev continues to deteriorate as Zelensky refuses to sign a minerals deal with the United States that would take tens of generations of Ukrainians to repay. There's been quite a bit of back and forth between Washington and Kiev in recent weeks. I've mentioned that previously in detail. But just as the Trump administration announced that Ukraine is hours away from signing the historical rare earth minerals deal that would give the United States an unprecedented level of control over the resources of a foreign nation, there's yet another surprise that nobody seemed to expect.
How close are you to striking a minerals deal?
I think we're pretty
Ukraine?
close, yeah. I think they want it, and they feel good about it, and it's significant, it's a big deal. But they want it, and it keeps us in that country, and they're very happy about it. But it's we get our money back.
Reportedly, the new revised draft of the minerals agreement was delivered to Kiev over the weekend. Unlike the first version, which included language to hand over 50% of rare earth minerals, rights of first refusal, and control over Ukrainian infrastructure, the Ukrainian media now says that the second draft seeks to grant access to 100% of Ukrainian natural resources to the United States. The new draft of the agreement includes even tougher financial terms. According to reports, the new draft reiterated a U.S. demand that Ukraine relinquish half of its revenues from natural resource extraction, including minerals, gas, and oil, as well as earnings from ports and other infrastructure. And under the new proposed terms, those revenues would be directed to a fund in which the United States would hold 100% financial interest, and Ukraine should contribute to the fund until it reaches $500 billion. That sum is more than twice the value of Ukraine's economic output in 2021 before the conflict began. In an unexpected turn of events, Zelensky held a large press conference in Kiev over the weekend where he stated something that, without a doubt, shocked even the Trump administration. Zelensky commented that the sum was disproportionate with the value of U.S. aid to Ukraine so far, which he claims to be around $120 billion worth. And that is actually according to the Kiel Institute, a German research institute. And he also said that he would not, quote, acknowledge that Ukraine owed the United States $500 billion. He said, no matter what anyone else says. It is common sense that, corruption aside, the deal the United States is proposing is in fact a way to exploit Ukrainian natural resources for generations to come. The agreement seeks to take advantage of the situation in Kiev right now and to gain access to potentially trillions of dollars in natural resources, since Ukraine is the most resource-rich nation in Europe.
They're sitting on top of $1 trillion worth of minerals that all of us can benefit from by aligning with the West. I told President Trump, it may be the old Soviet Union, it may be the Russian Empire, but I do know he's going after the money. Don't let him steal what Ukraine has to enrich himself, because that's like defunding the police. So if this minerals agreement happens, it's a nightmare for Putin, because we have something to defend that we didn't have before. So you better be pulling for this minerals agreement. Number two, if we don't arm Ukraine to the fullest extent possible, shame on all of us. They need more F-16s, not less, and we make them in South Carolina. And all of us are going to help them buy this stuff because they don't have enough money themselves to have like 1.3 million person army. But we'd be stupid in the next decade not to create the most lethal Ukrainian army possible as a form of deterrence. And finally, NATO. I'm all for Ukraine being in NATO, but it's up to the members of NATO. I don't want to take off their potential of getting to NATO, but I'm not so sure the market will bear if they go into NATO right now. I'm just being honest with you. But here's what I think we could say. If you ever do this again, Putin, if you ever have a military incursion into Ukraine again, that will trigger automatic admission into NATO by Ukraine. We should have done that in 2014. How many of you believe if that had been in place in 2014, Putin wouldn't have invaded? I don't think he would have if he knows that would put him in NATO.
During this press conference, Zelensky said that he would step down if Ukraine is allowed to join NATO, although it seems that nobody really knew if it was a joke or if he was in fact serious. Regardless, in a clip that I will share with you in just a second, Zelensky said, "It seems that the United States wants its money back. However, we don't really believe that we owe the United States as much as the Trump administration is asking for." He said that, well, what you consider debt, we actually consider a simple grant. Zelensky said a grant is not debt, as simple as that. Additionally, Zelensky mentioned that he's not going to agree to $500 billion, which is what Trump is asking for. He assures that he only received around $100 billion worth in grants, still not debt, but in grants. It is a bit of a longer clip, but listen to what Zelensky has to say and what he believes is Ukraine's approach towards Trump's proposal. Take a look.
Я знаю, що у нас було 100. І це факт. І я не збираюсь визнавати 500. Хто б що не говорив, як би ми не спілкувалися. При всій повазі, ще раз, при всій повазі до партнерів, але я стійко стою, тому що це правдива ситуація. Абсолютно ми праві. І друга ситуація, якщо чесно, навіть 100 мільярдів я не готовий фіксувати. Поясню чому. Тому що ми не маємо визнавати гранти як борги. Подобається це чи не подобається? Я домовлявся з Байденом і домовлявся з Конгресом Сполучених Штатів Америки. Я вдячен Конгресу. Це була присутність двох партій і підтримка.
Tensions are clearly escalating between Washington and Kyiv. There's clearly a fallout between the two administrations. The dispute over the alleged financial amount owed and the original terms that were presumably negotiated with the Biden administration are unclear. But despite the latest comments that were made by Zelensky over the weekend, it is clear that the time is not really moving in his favor, and perhaps now he is starting to realize that Kissinger may have had a point when he said it may be dangerous to be America's enemy, but to be America's friend is fatal. Thank you for watching. Remember to show your support. It does go a long way. Like, subscribe, and share. Make sure that you follow me on social media platforms linked in the description below. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.